Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money effortlessly, as if the universe conspires to fill their bank accounts while others struggle paycheck to paycheck? What if I told you the difference isn't luck, talent, or even hard work, but a closely guarded secret that most wealthy individuals will never share? Right now, you're about to receive something precious, a financial transformation technique so powerful that it must remain unspoken outside this sacred space between us. Has this ever happened to you? That feeling of being drawn to something, clicking on a video or opening a book, and somehow knowing that this particular moment holds something life-changing? That's not random. That's your intuition recognizing a truth your conscious mind hasn't yet grasped. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. I want you to take a deep breath and truly consider why you're here in this moment. Of all the millions of videos you could be watching right now, something guided you to this one. Your subconscious mind, that powerful silent force that shapes your reality, has been orchestrating every circumstance in your life to bring you to this exact revelation. The financial abundance you've been seeking has actually been seeking you. What I'm about to share with you works only when kept completely private. The moment you share this technique with others, its power begins to dissolve. Think of it like a rare, delicate flame that extinguishes when exposed to the wind of others' doubts and limitations. Stay with me until the end, because understanding why secrecy matters is as important as the technique itself. Imagine for a moment that everything you've been taught about creating wealth has been backward, focusing on the outer world when the real magic happens within. What you're about to discover might surprise you, challenging everything you thought you knew about manifestation, wealth consciousness, and the invisible forces that govern prosperity. This 7-minute practice has transformed the financial destinies of those who've discovered it. Not through striving or struggling, but through aligning with the natural laws of abundance that Florence Scovel Shinn revealed decades ago. These principles have remained hidden in plain sight, accessible only to those ready to receive them. Your presence here isn't coincidence, it's synchronicity. The universe doesn't operate through random chance, it responds to the magnetic pull of aligned consciousness. And right now, as we begin this journey together, your consciousness is aligning with a frequency of abundance that has been waiting for this precise moment of recognition. The silence you maintain around this practice isn't just a suggestion, it's the essential container that holds its transformative power. Think of it as a rare botanical extract that loses its potency when exposed to air. Every time you speak about this technique to someone who doesn't understand its sacred nature, you're essentially opening that container and allowing the energy to dissipate. This isn't about being secretive for secrecy's sake, it's about protecting the alchemical process happening within your consciousness. When kept hidden within, this practice begins to take on a life of its own. It breathes alongside you, growing stronger with each silent repetition, moving through your energy field to reorganize the invisible structures that determine your financial reality. This internal alchemy doesn't need external validation. In fact, external validation often creates subtle resistance that blocks the very manifestations you're working to create. Subscribe now for more powerful manifestation techniques and prosperity secrets delivered straight to your feed. Behind every journey to financial abundance is a profound revelation that often goes unacknowledged. What you truly desire isn't money itself. Money is simply paper and metal, or in today's world, digital numbers on a screen. The real object of your desire lies much deeper, in the freedom to choose your path without limitation, the security of knowing your needs will always be met, the peace of mind that comes when financial worry dissolves, and the power to impact the world in alignment with your values. This meditation addresses those deeper emotional needs directly, bypassing the surface-level fixation on currency and connecting you to abundance at its very source. When you align with abundance at this foundational level, Money becomes the natural byproduct rather than the elusive goal. It's a profound mindset shift that creates internal congruence between your deepest desires and your everyday thoughts. The hidden truth is that many people remain trapped in scarcity despite working harder than ever because they're focusing on the symbol rather than the essence. They chase money directly, unaware that this very pursuit creates an energetic signature of lack. The revelation that changes everything is that abundance is a state of being first, a bank balance second. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by examining what happens in those sacred 7 minutes when you step between the veils of ordinary reality and enter the manifestation realm where imagination becomes the law. This is where the real journey begins, where the invisible becomes visible through the extraordinary creative power you already possess, but may have forgotten how to use. If what I've shared so far resonates with your own inner knowing, write in the comments, "The silence protects the power." This simple acknowledgement activates a deeper connection to the principles we're exploring together. For these 7 minutes, I invite you to step into a dimension of reality that exists parallel to our everyday world, a hidden current running beneath the surface of ordinary existence. Most people live their entire lives without experiencing this realm, yet it's the very foundation from which all physical manifestation springs. When you close your eyes and begin to breathe deeply, something profound happens. The boundary between the visible and invisible worlds becomes permeable. This space between thoughts is where the true alchemy of manifestation occurs. It's a quantum field of pure potential, where imagination doesn't merely suggest possibilities, but actually establishes the blueprint for what must manifest. In this sacred realm, the laws that govern reality operate differently. What seems fixed and unchangeable in your everyday experience becomes fluid, responsive, malleable to your focused intention. The journey inward is actually the most powerful journey outward. As you settle into this practice, you'll notice how the usual mental chatter begins to quiet, allowing you to access deeper levels of consciousness where your creative power resides. This isn't some abstract concept. It's a tangible shift in your energetic signature that becomes palpable after just a few minutes of dedicated practice. Perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of this approach is how fundamentally it challenges everything we've been conditioned to believe about creating wealth. From childhood, most of us absorb the narrative that money comes only through struggle, sacrifice, and relentless effort, that we must earn our keep through the sweat of our brow and years of dedicated labor. This mindset creates a psychological architecture that actually repels the very abundance we seek. In this secret space you're entering, money arrives through an entirely different mechanism, quietly, suddenly, often unexpectedly. It appears through synchronicities, through opportunities that seem to materialize out of nowhere, through channels you couldn't have planned or predicted. The revelation that transforms financial reality is this: you don't chase money, you magnetically draw it to you through the power of your focused imagination. This magnetic attraction isn't metaphorical, it's literal. Your consciousness emits a specific frequency based on your dominant thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about abundance. When you shift that internal frequency through this 7-minute practice, you literally become a different energetic signature in the universe. And like a tuning fork that causes another of the same frequency to vibrate in response, your new frequency activates corresponding experiences in your external reality. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this principle decades before quantum physics confirmed it. The observer affects the observed. Your consciousness is not passive, but creative, continuously shaping the seemingly solid world of form and circumstance that surrounds you. Let me guide you deeper now into the specific mental imagery that activates this magnetic attraction most powerfully. The exact internal pictures that bypass your logical mind and speak directly to your subconscious, where all true transformation begins. If you've already begun to feel that subtle shift in your energy as we've been talking, type magnetic attraction activated in the comments below. What happens during these 7 minutes is nothing short of an energetic recalibration at the deepest levels of your being. Think of it as a quantum rearrangement of your relationship with wealth, not just in your conscious thoughts, but in the subtle electromagnetic field that surrounds you and communicates with the field of infinite possibilities. This transformation doesn't require your intellectual understanding or analysis to work. In fact, the analytical mind often creates resistance that slows the process. The breakthrough comes when you simply surrender to the experience, allowing the shifts to occur beneath the threshold of conscious awareness. Your rational mind might demand to know exactly how this works, wanting to dissect the mechanism behind the manifestation. But that's like trying to capture water by squeezing it tightly in your fist. The harder you grasp, the less you hold. The revelatory insight here is that some of the most profound shifts in your reality blueprint happen beyond the reach of logical comprehension, in the quantum field, where intention and outcome are intimately connected through means our three-dimensional language struggles to describe. As this energetic reorganization takes place within you, it creates a corresponding shift in your external financial reality. This isn't magical thinking. It's the application of universal principles that govern the relationship between consciousness and matter. The inner landscape always precedes and shapes the outer experience. When your internal relationship with abundance transforms, the physical manifestation of that abundance must follow. It's as inevitable as a seed growing when planted in fertile soil and given proper conditions. The sacred container for this transformation is silence. The energetic integrity of this practice depends on keeping it completely private, held within the temple of your own consciousness. When you speak about these inner workings prematurely, you release energy that should be circulating within your own field, building momentum toward manifestation. It's like opening a pressure cooker before the meal is fully transformed. You lose the very elements necessary for completion. After this session, something remarkable begins to happen. Money starts moving toward you immediately, though often through channels invisible to initial perception. The universe responds to your shifted frequency, not in some distant future, but in real time. Within days, you'll notice external circumstances beginning to reflect this internal shift. Unexpected opportunities, fortuitous timing, solutions appearing. Where problems once seemed insurmountable. These aren't coincidences, but direct reflections of your altered energetic signature. Join our abundance community by clicking subscribe, new wealth consciousness videos every week. The journey to financial abundance requires a delicate balance between decisive action and receptive allowing. Most people overemphasize the action component while neglecting the equally important aspect of energetic alignment. I want to guide you through the specific, mental imagery that creates the most powerful alignment, the exact scenes to hold in your imagination that speak directly to your subconscious wealth blueprint. If you've ever experienced inexplicable financial synchronicities after changing your internal state, write "alignment precedes abundance" in the comments below. One of the most profound revelations that Florence Scovel Shinn gifted to humanity was this hidden truth. You aren't waiting for reality to change. Reality is waiting for your inner word. This complete reversal of how most people understand manifestation represents a quantum leap in consciousness. The transformation occurs not when your circumstances improve, but when you fundamentally alter the assumptions through which you perceive your financial world. Your assumptions aren't passive observations of reality, but active creators of your experience. The external world you navigate daily, with all its apparent solidity, is actually a holographic projection of your dominant inner beliefs and expectations about wealth. This isn't metaphorical or philosophical, it's the literal mechanism through which your life unfolds. When you understand this principle at the core of your being, you recognize the extraordinary power you've been wielding unconsciously all along. The breakthrough moment comes when you begin wielding this power with intention rather than by default. Every decision you've made about money, every interpretation of your financial circumstances, every emotional reaction to abundance or lack, These weren't responses to an objective reality, but expressions of your internal wealth blueprint. The revolutionary mindset shift happens when you recognize that changing this blueprint changes everything. The mirror cannot help but reflect a different image when you yourself have transformed. Tonight marks a pivotal moment in your relationship with abundance. You're choosing a new reality, one where wealth moves toward you like an unstoppable tide, flowing naturally and effortlessly into every area of your life. This choice happens at a level deeper than conscious thought. It occurs in the quantum field of pure potential, where all possibilities exist simultaneously until one is selected through the power of your focused attention. What makes this approach so different from conventional manifestation practices is that it requires no external permission or proof before you assume the state of being wealthy. The journey begins with the end, already accomplished in consciousness. The profound revelation is that proof doesn't precede assumption. It follows it. The evidence of your new financial reality arrives naturally, inevitably, after your assumption is firmly established within. This is the hidden mechanism behind every genuine success story, behind the scenes of every overnight success that actually took years, behind every lucky break that seemed to come out of nowhere. Those who embody wealth consciousness don't wait for validation before assuming their rightful state. They inhabit the feeling of abundance first, and the physical manifestation of that feeling becomes the natural byproduct. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the specific creative power that makes all of this possible. The extraordinary faculty of imagination that Florence Scovel Shinn recognized as God's workshop, where all things are first created. Understanding how to properly utilize this creative faculty revolutionizes not just your finances, but every aspect of your existence. If you recognize that you've been unconsciously creating your financial reality all along, type, "I am the creator," in the comments below. Imagination is not the frivolous faculty we've been conditioned to dismiss. It's the most potent creative force in the universe, operating through you in every moment. What you imagine consistently, you inevitably become. This principle functions with absolute precision, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. Every area of your life right now, financial, relational, physical, is the crystallized result of your habitual imaginings. The revelation that changes everything is recognizing that this power has never been dormant. It's been actively creating your current circumstances all along. The paradigm shift occurs when you realize you're not a beggar at life's door, desperately hoping for financial crumbs to fall from the table of prosperity. You are the master of the house, the one who decides which experiences are welcome into your reality and which must remain outside. This isn't arrogance, it's your natural birthright. You were designed to be the conscious gatekeeper of your experience, wielding imagination as the key that unlocks any reality you choose to inhabit. Now, let's engage this creative faculty with intention. Close your eyes for a moment and see yourself receiving a notification, perhaps on your phone, computer, or in your email. Feel the curiosity as you open it. Then experience the rush of genuine surprise and delight as you discover it's an alert about unexpected funds that have just appeared in your account. Don't just vaguely imagine some money. Visualize a specific amount, one that would genuinely impact internal strategies. The invisible architecture of your consciousness, your beliefs, expectations, and embodied feelings about wealth, is continuously broadcasting a signal that the universe can only respond to in kind. When you fundamentally alter this signal through your 7-minute practice, reality has no choice but to reorganize itself accordingly. The breakthrough insight that transforms your financial experience is recognizing that this responsiveness isn't arbitrary or occasional. It's the fundamental nature of existence itself. The universe isn't withholding abundance until you prove yourself worthy. It's constantly responding to your energetic signature with perfect precision. When your inner state authentically resonates with prosperity, corresponding outer circumstances must manifest as the natural reflection of that resonance. Now, I want to guide you into a particularly powerful visualization, the golden portal of abundance that exists between the seen and unseen realms, waiting for your conscious entry. If you can feel these bodily sensations of wealth shifting as we speak, type embodied prosperity in the comments below. Let me guide you now through a particularly powerful visualization technique that accesses the quantum field of unlimited possibility. Close your eyes and see before you a magnificent glowing portal, pulsing with golden light, its edges shimmering with colors more vibrant than anything in ordinary reality. This isn't merely a mental picture, but a genuine threshold between dimensions, the gateway between the seen and unseen realms of prosperity. As you gaze upon it, feel its warmth radiating toward you, inviting you closer. Listen carefully, and you'll perceive a subtle vibration, a low, pleasant hum that resonates with something deep inside you, as if recognizing a frequency your soul has always known. This portal isn't a fantasy or metaphor. It represents the actual threshold between potential and manifestation, between the quantum field where all possibilities exist simultaneously and the physical dimension where specific possibilities crystallize into experience. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this principle decades before quantum physics began revealing the same truth, that an invisible realm of pure possibility precedes and creates the visible world of form. As you prepare to step through this threshold, feel a sense of reverent anticipation mixed with absolute belonging. This isn't a foreign territory you're invading, but a dimension that has been awaiting your conscious entry. Take a deep breath. Feel your entire being align with this intention and step deliberately through the golden threshold. The moment of crossing brings a subtle shift in your perception. Colors become more vivid, sensations more acute, your awareness more expansive. Inside this abundance dimension, allow your vision to adjust to the extraordinary scene before you. See coins suspended in midair, gently rotating in streams of golden light. Notice bills floating weightlessly like leaves on an autumn breeze, their movement creating patterns of perfect harmony. Observe treasure chests positioned throughout this realm, their lids open, precious contents spilling forth in quantities too vast to measure. This isn't an imaginary construct, but an actual dimension of reality that has always existed, patiently waiting for your conscious recognition and entry. The revolutionary insight that transforms your relationship with prosperity is understanding that this abundant dimension isn't something you need to create or earn. It already exists in its fullness. Your journey isn't about manufacturing abundance, but about aligning your consciousness with what already is. When you shift your perception in this way, you're not trying to attract something distant or separate from you. You're simply allowing yourself to resonate with a frequency that has always been available. Notice how differently you feel in this space compared to your everyday consciousness. There's a particular quality of ease here, a natural belonging that makes the struggle and strain of scarcity thinking seem like a strange and unnecessary detour from your natural state. This isn't an altered state, but your original state, before limiting beliefs, created the illusion of separation from unlimited supply. If you can feel yourself actually standing within this golden portal right now, type threshold crossed in the comments below. As you stand within this golden realm of unlimited possibility, extend your hand forward and feel the tangible connection between consciousness and manifestation. Coins begin falling into your open palm, not as imagination, but as sensation, weight, texture. The metal feels cool at first, then warms to your touch, creating a pleasant tingling that travels up your arm and spreads throughout your body. This isn't merely symbolic, it's the actual transmission of prosperity consciousness into your physical being, recalibrating your energy field at the cellular level. Now take several more steps forward, fully immersing yourself in this dimension. Experience rivers of prosperity flowing in every direction, streams of golden light carrying resources, opportunities, connections, and abundance in forms both expected and surprising. These currents aren't random. They're moving with intelligent purpose, seeking resonant frequencies, finding their way to those who have opened themselves to receive. The revelation that transforms your relationship with abundance is recognizing that this unlimited prosperity belongs to you by divine birthright, not through entitlement, but through the natural inheritance of your consciousness. Most people spend their entire lives unaware of this dimension, believing that abundance must be extracted from a reluctant universe through struggle and strain. But here, in this portal state of awareness, you recognize that the opposite is true. The universe is constantly extending abundance toward you, waiting only for your willingness to receive. This receptivity isn't passive, but a dynamic state of aligned consciousness that actively draws prosperity toward you through resonant attraction. As you deepen into this experience, become aware of gentle voices emerging from the surrounding field of light. These aren't external voices, but the expression of universal intelligence speaking directly to your consciousness. They affirm with perfect clarity, "This is yours. This has always been yours. This will always be yours." Notice the quality of these statements. They aren't desperate pleas for belief or tentative suggestions. They carry the unmistakable tone of authority, of finality, of absolute knowing. These declarations aren't attempting to convince you of something foreign to your nature, but are imprinting the truth of prosperity consciousness into the very fabric of your being. They're activating dormant codes within your DNA, awakening the original blueprint of abundance that has always existed within you. The transformation isn't about becoming something new, but remembering what you've always been beneath the accumulated programming of lack. As these affirmations continue to resonate through your consciousness, feel them anchoring at progressively deeper levels, beyond conscious thought, beyond subconscious belief, into the cellular memory that forms the foundation of your identity. This profound recalibration creates an entirely new platform for your relationship with prosperity, one that no longer requires constant maintenance or reinforcement, but simply expresses as your natural state of being. If you can feel these voices of confirmation resonating through your entire being right now, type "Divine Inheritance Activated" in the comments below. As you stand fully immersed in this golden dimension of abundance, something extraordinary begins to happen. The light surrounding you doesn't remain external, but begins to permeate your physical form. Feel this golden abundance energy entering your body, first through your skin, creating a warm, tingling sensation, then progressively deeper, flowing through your chest, circulating through your veins, and ultimately becoming one with your breath itself. With each inhale, you draw this golden essence further into your being. With each exhale, you integrate it more completely with your physical form. This experience represents a profound paradigm shift in your relationship with prosperity. You're not merely attracting abundance as something separate from yourself. You're literally becoming prosperity itself. Your entire being begins to radiate golden financial energy. This transformation occurs at the quantum level, where the boundary between observer and observed dissolves, revealing the fundamental truth that you aren't separate from the abundance you seek, but are one with it in essence. The revelation that changes everything is understanding that this isn't metaphorical, but literal. Your consciousness and physical body are becoming calibrated to a frequency that naturally resonates with and attracts corresponding experiences. Just as a tuning fork vibrating at a specific frequency causes another fork of the same frequency to vibrate in response without physical contact, your newly aligned being effortlessly draws prosperity through resonance rather than effort. When you return from this visualization, and you will return because you exist simultaneously in multiple dimensions of reality, prosperity must follow you into physical experience. This isn't wishful thinking, but the operation of universal law. Money will begin entering your reality through channels you hadn't previously considered, through what appear to be coincidences to the untrained eye, and through surprising opportunities that seem to materialize out of nowhere. The catalyst for these manifestations isn't random chance, but your fundamentally shifted consciousness. You've altered the invisible architecture that precedes and creates physical experience. The universe responds not to your desires or even your beliefs, but to the energy signature you embody. When that signature vibrates at the frequency of abundance, corresponding external circumstances must manifest as the natural reflection of that inner state. Most approaches to manifestation focus on changing external conditions, like rearranging furniture on the deck of a ship while ignoring the rudder that determines its course. Your 7-minute practice addresses the causal level of reality, the rudder that determines which shores of experience you'll encounter. This journey of transformation isn't about creating something that doesn't exist. It's about aligning with what has always been available, but previously inaccessible due to misaligned consciousness. Now I want to guide you through an equally important dimension of this practice, understanding how to maintain access to this sanctuary of abundance regardless of temporary external circumstances, allowing you to recharge your prosperity consciousness whenever needed. If you can feel this golden light actually permeating your being as we speak, type "Golden Integration Complete" in the comments below. The golden portal visualization you've just experienced isn't a one-time journey, but a sanctuary you can return to whenever needed. This inner landscape of abundance remains eternally accessible regardless of what temporary circumstances might appear in your external reality. When bills arrive that seem challenging, when unexpected expenses emerge, when the physical evidence seems to contradict your prosperity consciousness, these are precisely the moments to return to this visualization, not as escape, but as recalibration, as remembrance of a truth more fundamental than fleeting appearances. This sanctuary serves as your energetic refuge, a space where you can instantly reconnect with your true, abundant nature regardless of what stories the external world seems to be telling. The transformative revelation is understanding that this dimension isn't something you create through imagination. It's an actual realm of consciousness that exists independently of your awareness of it. Your 7-minute practice simply attunes you to a frequency that's always broadcasting, always available, always offering unlimited prosperity to those who align with its essence. When you regularly return to this sanctuary, you're not merely engaging in comforting visualization, you're literally recharging your prosperity consciousness, reinforcing neural pathways associated with abundance, and strengthening the energetic signature that attracts corresponding manifestations. This consistent realignment is what makes prosperity sustainable rather than fleeting, ACT, permanent shift in your relationship with abundance rather than a temporary peak experience. Now, I must share with you perhaps the most crucial aspect of maintaining this connection, the vow of silence. This practice must be protected through complete confidentiality, not from superstition, but from energetic wisdom. Speaking prematurely about your inner work invites doubt and contradiction from those who don't understand or believe in manifestation principles. When you share this practice with someone operating from scarcity consciousness, their doubts create ripples in your own field, potentially weakening the clarity of your signal. This isn't about secrecy for secrecy's sake. It's about creating an energetic incubation chamber where your prosperity consciousness can develop fully before being exposed to potentially conflicting frequencies. Just as a seedling requires protection in its early stages before it's strong enough to withstand harsh elements, your manifestation requires sacred privacy until it's firmly established in physical form. The journey of transformation follows a natural sequence. Inner shift precedes outer evidence. When you interrupt this sequence by prematurely seeking external validation, you often disrupt the very process you're trying to accelerate. The sanctuary of silence protects the integrity of your creation, allowing it to gestate fully in the quantum field before birthing into physical experience. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this principle decades ago. That manifestation is not merely mechanical, but sacred, requiring reverence and protection rather than casual exposure. The vow of silence isn't permanent. There will come a time when your prosperity is so firmly established that discussing your process can't possibly weaken it. But until that point of complete integration, silence serves as the protective shield around your emerging abundance. If you recognize the power of maintaining sacred silence around your manifestation practice, type "vow of silence accepted" in the comments below. As your prosperity consciousness becomes fully integrated, you'll discover a beautiful paradox in this journey. The less you feel compelled to explain your transformation, the more powerfully it manifests. Rather than trying to convince others of this process or seeking validation through their understanding, simply allow your improved financial circumstances to speak eloquently for themselves. The evidence of your prosperity becomes your most compelling testimony, far more persuasive than any explanation could ever be. When others begin to notice the positive shifts in your financial reality, and they will notice, they'll naturally ask how you've achieved such transformation. In these moments, offer them a knowing smile that acknowledges their observation without revealing the sacred mechanics behind it. This isn't about being secretive for secrecy's sake, but about honoring the energetic integrity of this practice. The revelation that transforms theory into consistent results is understanding that explanation dilutes manifestation power until it's fully established in your experience. Florence Scovel Shinn recognized this principle decades ago, that prosperity has its own timeline of unfoldment, its own rhythm of expression that often defies logical explanation. By maintaining reverent silence about the specific process while allowing the results to shine brightly, you create a field of curiosity around you that actually magnifies your prosperity rather than diminishing it. This strategic silence serves as both protection and amplification for your continuing financial evolution. From this moment forward, you walk through life differently, carrying an unshakable prosperity consciousness that remains stable regardless of temporary appearances. This isn't blind faith or denial of challenges, but a profound recognition of a truth more fundamental than fleeting circumstances. Money flows to you through previously unseen channels, arriving because you've activated Florence Scovel Shinn's foundational principle that the invisible always precedes the visible. The unseen realm of consciousness creates the blueprint that physical reality must eventually express. This journey of transformation doesn't require constant maintenance or strenuous effort. Your 7-minute prosperity portal remains eternally accessible whenever you need to renew this connection. Like returning to a familiar room in a beloved home, you can step back into this golden dimension with increasing ease each time you practice. The path becomes well-worn, the recognition immediate, the alignment effortless. The breakthrough understanding that changes everything is recognizing that you aren't creating prosperity through visualization. You're stepping into resonance with an abundant dimension that has always existed. Your consciousness isn't manufacturing wealth, but tuning to a frequency that naturally attracts it. This shift in perspective transforms manifestation from work to recognition, from effort to allowing, from seeking to finding what was always available. Now, I want to guide you through the exact process of implementing this 7-minute practice as a consistent part of your daily rhythm, creating not just occasional manifestations, but a completely transformed relationship with prosperity that becomes your new normal. If you can feel a fundamental shift in your relationship with abundance already taking place, type "transformation initiated" in the comments below. You've just received a sacred gift, the key to unlocking abundance that has been waiting for you all along. This 7-minute practice isn't merely another manifestation technique. It's a doorway to remembering your natural state of prosperity that Florence Scovel Shinn so brilliantly understood decades ago. As you begin implementing this practice in your daily life, you'll notice subtle shifts at first, those synchronicities and coincidences we discussed, followed by increasingly tangible evidence of your transformed financial reality. Remember to honor the vow of silence we spoke about, allowing your results to speak more eloquently than any explanation ever could. If this message resonated deep within you, if you felt that unmistakable recognition that comes when truth meets truth, I'd love for you to type, "This message found me at the perfect time," in the comments below. There's something powerful about declaring your readiness to receive that actually accelerates the manifestation process. I create these teachings because they genuinely transform lives. I've seen it happen countless times. If you found value here today, gently press that like button as a simple acknowledgement of our connection. And if you haven't already joined our community of conscious creators, subscribe to ensure these prosperity teachings continue flowing into your awareness at precisely the right moments. There's a video appearing right here that delves even deeper into Florence Scovel Shinn's prosperity principles. It perfectly complements what we've explored today and will expand your manifestation abilities even further. Click and continue this journey with me there, knowing that each step brings you closer to the abundant life that has always been your birthright. Until next time, remember, you're not attracting prosperity, you're remembering it.